I thought I was going to force this man to propose to me. For 3 months, he was like, do what you got to do. You want to move, move. So the last day I was putting my stuff in the car, he came over and helped me put my stuff in the car. And we putting stuff in the trunk, and I just started crying. I'm like, you really going to let me leave? He looked at me and he said, have a safe trip.
You're going to end up with one of those shut up rings everybody keeps talking about, where a man just does it just to shut you up. You don't want a shut up ring. You don't want a ring that you've had to beg or plead or guilt trip or manipulate out of a man. I think sometimes we underestimate as women how long a man will stay in a relationship where he is unhappy. A couple could be married for 20 years and they've both been unhappy for 19 and he'll still act surprised that she left. A man will stay in a relationship for any number of reasons and none of them have to be love. He could like that you cook and clean and how well you cook and clean. He might like what you do with him intimately in the bedroom. His mama likes you. His family and friends like you. All his homeboys think you're attractive and think he's lucky to be with you. He hasn't found your replacement yet. It could be any number of reasons that don't even have anything to do with him loving you and wanting to be with you for the rest of his life. Don't think his presence alone means he really wants to be there.
Y'all, welcome back to the channel. Jodi here. So from the title of today's video, you know we discuss the shut up ring. This has been a trending topic, especially over on the Tik Tok platform. And you may be asking, what is a shut up ring? It has been around for a very long time, but you know, as per usual, we're not going to put a definition or a terminology to that specific action. It says basically a man giving a woman a ring or an engagement ring, basically as the name suggests, just to shut her up. So he maybe want to silence her. Probably she's nagging him about getting married. He knows that he does not have the true intentions of marrying her, but he's not leaving for whatever purpose. Maybe she wants to break up with him. That could be one reason. Maybe if she's pregnant and he wants to make things right, he probably give, you know, let me just engage her. Maybe get a ring with us, basically shut her up. Or even maybe for financial gains, maybe for monetary reasons, even to even gain control. That can be one of the aspects of wealth. So it is not done out of genuine or true pure intentions. It's just basically just giving her that ring with the promise to get married, just to basically shut her up. So we have some creators today that we're going to share about more about in depth about this particular thing that clearly mostly men would be doing it. Guys, remember to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and let's get the conversation going down in the comment section.
If he doesn't ask within the 2-year mark, he's never going to ask.
So here's one thing I don't understand. Why do some of you ladies allow yourselves to be girlfriends anywhere between 3 to even 10 to 15 years? And then, you know, the sad part about it is some of you guys are girlfriends for like 10 years. And then you guys break up. And you lost all that time, invested all that time on someone that knew he wasn't going to commit to you. And then he goes on to date another person, and boom, he's married within a year and a half to this girl. A man knows what he wants. He knows whether he wants you from the get-go or he doesn't. And ladies, please do yourself a favor. Do not beg a man or ask him when he's going to propose to you or force him to marry you. You have to let him do it on his own time. And if he doesn't do it within a specific amount of time that you give yourself, at least 2 years, walk away. Yeah, I know it's scary investing all that time and having to walk away and not knowing what's out there, but you gotta value yourself and know your worth. Because if this man really wants you, he's gonna commit to you, and he will do whatever it takes not to lose you. And if he doesn't, he didn't really want you.
You have to be absolutely crazy, literally delulu, to believe that a man that waited 1 to 2 years to actually give you a ring really wants to be with you. Because I am going to tell you 110% the ring that he gave you after making you wait so long was a shut up ring. See, the thing is, men already know if they want to become long term with you from the jump. It'll come within the first 1 to 2 months, sometimes even weeks. Men don't wait for women for years if they actually want to be with them or marry them. He gave you the shut up ring because you were beneficial to him, and he would rather be with somebody than actually nobody. He gave you the shut up ring so you're only entitled to him, and also so you won't question him about any other thing in the relationship because you think that y'all are already locked in. Just because he's not attracted to you or you're not the woman that he wants does not stop him from acting like it. It was never about money because you don't have to have an expensive ring or an expensive wedding You could literally go and get married at the court. And the sad reality is, a lot of y'all will think maybe he's just waiting to give you the ring, but in actuality, you're just not the woman that he actually wanted. But he decided to settle down anyway because he does not want you to leave out of his life, just in case all things fail. But y'all stay safe though.
I always like to get the men's perspective. So when I found this creator and his perspective of the real shut up ring, you know, we really have to open our ears, ladies, and listen, because he's a man and can tell you exactly how a man thinks. You hear what he said? A man knows if he wants you or not. Within, it not gonna take them 3 and 5 years. Within the first 1 or 2 years, or even months, or even weeks of them dating or courting you, they know if they see you in their lives long term. So this thing where we put a timeline on things, not to say that, you know, you want to rush everything, because some people are genuinely trying to work and to get to know each other, and sometimes there are other things happening, you know, in the background why probably him don't want to make that step or the commitment as yet. But what he is saying basically is that most of the times men know, and he's just basically stringing you along, or sometimes he just do it because he might get older, him just can't wait no longer, and him just basically settle for you. So therefore, here, shut up. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's keep listening to what he's saying, and let me know, have you ever had a situation like this, or know of any situation like this particular one where somebody got a ring and basically it was basically a shut up ring just to make them keep quiet? Because we know, especially in the Caribbean and in Jamaica, when you see somebody together for a period of time, the first thing everybody asks, what, me and I'm married? They see them together for 2 years, 5 years, even some people are girlfriends for 10 years. And don't get me wrong, this is we are going to exclude persons who don't necessarily want to get married, right? So these are for persons who you have an interest in marriage. The women especially have the interest in marriage, because it's not every woman wants to be a wife. It's not every woman wants to get married. So we're just discussing about the woman that wants to get married in this particular video.
I'll tell you when I realized that I had been given a shut up ring, and it's probably not what you expect. I realized the first few weeks of our marriage. Like literally right as soon as we settled in together, settled into married life, I realized we had made the wrong choice. Because I'd spent so much of our relationship wondering where it was going, because we had this like long impending long distance with no end in sight. I wanted commitment. I wanted to know that there was an end to this and that there was going to be commitment at the end of the road. And that's what I thought that I needed. So that held me through, you know, the engagement, the proposal is what kept me thinking the relationship, it's going to be better when. It's going to be better when we move and we live in the same place. It's going to be better when we're married. And lo and behold, after the wedding, when the dust settled from all the wedding bliss, nothing was better and I wasn't any happier. And that was a huge learning moment for me, because that's when I really realized that whole, you can't control other people, you can't change other people, you can't force someone to be the person that you need them to be. And I guess for a long time I thought I had accomplished that, because I had convinced him to marry me and I had convinced him to put an end to the long distance. But yeah, as soon as the dust settled, I realized that the ring, the proposal, the marriage, the wedding, none of that changed anything. We still had all the exact same problems that we had before. It took about 2 years for us to kind of live with it and for our marriage to fall apart. And towards the end, you know, trying to salvage it, that's when I feel like all the shut up moves started happening, when I was saying, I'm really unhappy. I'm thinking about maybe potentially getting a divorce. Let's maybe separate for a while and get some time apart. And that's when, you know, I needed to tell me I'm pretty. That happened for about a week. I needed to buy me flowers. It probably happened once or twice. Or I needed to go to therapy. We talked about it, but it never actually ended up happening. Then towards the end, I was just so exhausted with everything. I was so exhausted that, you know, I wasn't really as convinced by the shut up moves as I had been previously. And that's when I started really paying attention to his actions. You know, I didn't care that I got flowers one time. I needed to see if it was going to become a regular thing, or I needed to see if I was being complimented or being showed affection or being told that I was loved. And I just realized it was done a few times and then it just got completely forgotten about because things were better. When I realized those things were never actually going to stick and they were never actually going to stay around, that's when I decided that I was done. Anyways, I'm Monica. I share my mistakes in life and love so you don't have to make the same ones. Okay, love you, bye.
And I have been together for 15 whole years. I waited for the ring for about 12 years. So it's more on him than me. Whatever. I waited.
And this is what it looks like when you get a shut-up ring. A shut-up ring is usually one that you have waited for and begged for and pleaded for, and you finally get it. He looks like she finally got me. And she looks like about time. You could almost see the sense of resentment that they both have. She looks like she got the man, and she got the ring, and she got the wedding, but she don't even look like she wanted. This is what happens when you have spent way longer with the man than you wanted to, but you don't want to cut your losses and just start over. No woman wants to feel on her wedding day that the reason why she's getting married is because she was long suffering and because she endured. She doesn't come across as excited and hopeful. She comes across as exhausted and resentful, mad about the time that she's had to put in to get this man to do something that she probably felt could have been done a decade ago. I feel like standing there in that dress after waiting on this man for years, she feels like a fool. She probably imagined her wedding day so many times as a child and never thought it would take her this long to get it from a man that says that he loves her. And that's why she has to justify it. It's not me. She couldn't wait to tell the crowd of people. It wasn't me that had y'all waiting. It wasn't me. And there he is haggling over, it wasn't 12 years, it was 11. Sir, it's still too long.
This will sum up today's video. As per usual, let's keep the conversations going down in the comment section, because you know I live for different perspectives and we are all here to learn from each other. So let's get the conversation going. If you're new here, please do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button, because you get videos like this each and every week. And of course, remember to like the video. It helps a girl out. And as per usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jodi and I aspire to inspire. Until next time, guys, walk good.